Hi second graders, this is Shook again. We're on grade 2 skills. Today is unit 3, lesson 17. Our learning goals for today: reading 1 and 2 syllable words with the U sound spellings of U space E, U, E, and U. Being able to provide and identify synonym and antonym pairs of words. And then make singular words plural by adding either an S or an ES. Let's get started. So, we talked about the U sound, like in the word refuse. All of these words are U space E words. Okay, so let's read 2 through 4 together. Immune. Good. Remember the U and the E? They are one space apart, but they work together as partners to make that U sound. Number 3. Accuse. And number 4, compute. So we have refuse, immune, accuse, and compute as our U space E words. Now yesterday we introduced 2 new spellings for the U sound. One of them is the letter U, like in the word unit. We are on unit 3. Okay. Looking at the power bar, we can tell this is a pretty common way to spell that U sound. Here are some words with the U sound in it. We have unite, uniform, cucumber, calculate, human, and menu. And as we can see by these words, the U can be at the beginning, somewhere in the middle, or even at the end. Okay, we also talked about the UE spelling for this U sound. Looking at the power bar, that's not a very common spelling, but sometimes it shows up like in the word cue, like take your cue. Okay, some more UE words. Read with me. Value, rescue, argue, and fuel. Often you'll find this at the end of a word, but it can also appear in the middle, like in the word fuel. Again, it's not the most common way to spell this out. All right. Now let's look at putting that U sound in a multisyllable word. So we've talked about this with all of our other sounds. When the syllable is when the vowel that we're talking about is at the end of a syllable, it's going to make a long vowel sound. Okay? If the syllable ends and there is a vowel in between consonants, then it'll have a short vowel sound. So let's read through. We have 5 sentences, and each one has one of our words broken up 2 different ways. So let's decide which way makes sense. Number 1, another word for a student is it pupil or pupil? You think? Good. Pupil. Number 2, we will begin a new, is it unit or unit in science? Unit or unit? Very good. Unit. Keep it up. Number 3, do you want to wait until or until tomorrow? Yeah, until. Okay, 2 more. Number 4, I like to listen to music or music? Good. Music. And number 5, we watched a puppet or a puppet show. Which one? Puppet or puppet? And it's puppet. Good. So again, in words like pupil, unit, and music, that U is at the end of a syllable, so it has a long vowel sound. And in until and puppet, the U is in the middle of a syllable, ending with a consonant, so it is a short vowel sound. Okay. One of our activity pages for today, 17.1, says fill in the blank with a word from the box. This is just like what we did yesterday. So let's read the words. Barbecued, unicorn, argue, argument, using, fuel, menu, units, and united. Okay, and there's 9 sentences to go with these 9 words. 1 word will fit in each sentence. Let's do number 1 together. Number 1, a blank has a horn between its ears. So which word up here talks about an animal that has a horn between its ears? Right, the only one that would fit would be unicorn. So write unicorn in the line. It's also a good idea to cross off each word as you use it, because we'll only use each word once. Okay, so you'll continue this on your own. You'll read the sentence and identify what U word is going to fit and fill in the blank. Write it in and continue. Okay. Now let's look at this list. So we have 3 columns. Looking at antonyms and synonyms. Antonyms are words that mean the opposite, and synonyms are words that are the same. So in the very first column, we have a list of words, and then we have sample antonyms and sample synonyms, the other 2 columns. So the first word, bent, right? Maybe you have like a bent straw or a bent stick. The antonym or an opposite would be straight, and a synonym, which means the same thing, is crooked. A few more examples. Bouncing. A synonym would be jumping, whereas an antonym would be still or quiet. We have great. An opposite would be terrible or awful, whereas a synonym would be super and awesome. Hard. Something is very hard. You might say that it's difficult, or maybe if it's a hard surface, it's stiff. Whereas something that's the opposite of hard might be easy for you to do, or if it's talking about a surface, it might be soft. Lose. The opposite would be win. Synonym is get beaten. Booming. Very loud. Shouting. Or the opposite would be whispering and soft. Nervous. An antonym and opposite would be calm. Or a synonym might be excited or scared. Now again, these are all just samples. You might think of different words too. Whispered. The opposite would be shouted, whereas the synonym would be said softly, said quietly. And our last one on this list, slow, meaning something maybe crawling or something taking a long time. That's a synonym. Whereas an antonym and opposite might be something that's fast or speedy. Okay, and you guys did some antonym and synonym words practice yesterday in your activity pages. All right. Now we have a list of singular words, and we're going to identify the plural word. So singular chip becomes plural chips. Good. Singular wish and chip, you just add an S. Singular wish becomes a plural wishes. Good. Game becomes games. Box becomes boxes. Bench, benches. And remember the SH, X, CH, and double S words, those are going to be adding an ES. Game already ends in an E, so it's just adding an S. And then words like chip, you just add an S. Quiz becomes quizzes. Now that's tricky. We didn't talk about that, but in this word, we had to double the last consonant and add ES. Bike becomes bikes. Dress, dresses. And dish is dishes. Good job. Okay, so 17.2 on this page. For 1 through 4, you're going to read the sentence and identify. It'll tell you there's 2 nouns. You need to find the 2 nouns. Okay, little glitch. So for this page, you're going to read the sentence. It'll tell you how many nouns are in the sentence. So for all 4 of them, there's 2 nouns. You're going to circle the 2 nouns. So in number 1, they circle the sentence is that man drives those cars fast. Man is a noun and cars is a noun. And then you're going to identify, is it a singular or a plural noun? And label them S or P. So man is singular, there's an S. Whereas cars is plural, man is singular, so labeling with an S. Cars is plural, labeling it with a P. Okay, you can continue that for 1 through 4. And then for 5 through 9, you're going to write the plural form of the word. Being careful of some words needing an ES, some just needing an S. You will continue this with 17.1, looking at the words, adding either an S or an ES, sorting the words out, like so. And if you don't have the sheet, you will do Google form for lesson 17. Great job today, guys. See you tomorrow.